everyone. We are right outside the United Nations in San Francisco. Ekballo has a tent that's set up here. It's amazing. There's people everywhere. God's just doing something so amazing, but I just have to share this story because I just thank God so much that we're in this location right now, because we were just walking by and people are so hungry for God, and I just feel like as a church we've just been losing the war. We've just been so concerned about growing our ministries, and we're not reaching the world that is like so hurting. And this one guy walked by and was like picking through the trash, and you just think like, this is someone's child. And I've gone to church events that cost hundreds of thousands of dollars. There's no altar call. Like, we're spending all this money just to make ourselves spiritually fat and ineffective. And I think we've promoted so much self-help and navel gazing as an American church, and I think we just need to repent because we're not reaching the lost. And God, I just pray that you would just break our heart for literally what breaks yours. Like, these are your children and they're suffering. And I would say in San Francisco and in California and Washington and New York City, we just have so much work to do. And God, I just ask right now that you would just forgive us. Forgive us for just building these huge things, just these... Gosh, Parker, can you share about that woman that walked by and what happened? Sorry, I'm like a mess.
Hi. So, I was just standing outside the tent, just hanging out, and said hello to an older lady, and first thing she said is, "Why are you saying hi to me?" I wasn't thinking of praying for her. I wasn't thinking of, trying to sling the gospel to her necessarily, even though that's always in the back of my mind. But essentially, she ended up opening up her whole life to me, and we were talking about our kids together. We were talking about what it's like raising them. Her older son, 27, just got saved, and she started talking about her life and how hard her season has been. And what I realized is, like, nobody's really been touched, like physically, in the last 2 years. So I kind of put my hand on her shoulder, and she shuddered at first, and then all of a sudden just completely relaxed and started weeping about what's going on in her life. I prayed for healing for her for cancer, a possible cancer diagnosis. We gave her some money for lunch. Her phone has either been stolen or lost, but she's just going through it, and I think mostly isolated more than anything else. And it's just crazy how much people need hope. They need the Father's love. They need to know that they're being looked after.
That they're not alone, that they don't have to choose bondage, that they don't have to choose to suffer. There's so many people out here that are like just choosing death, and like where is the church in America? Why are we not telling people that they don't have to live this way any longer? I think it was the mercy of God that shut down our buildings to force us, to thrust us out. We want revival events to just like feel good, but the reality is that like there's no revival until we start giving a crap about what the Lord cares about. And the thing is like do we actually care about those that don't know Jesus, like in reality? And if not, I ask that God would forgive us. And so anyway, just be praying for us. There's been like so much like demonic manifestations happening outside the tent. There's literally just like, there's people everywhere, like homeless people are everywhere. They're doing free vaccinations on the street. The restaurants are like not allowing people in without vaccine passports. And it's like, I just think that we have allowed our cities in this nation to just fall apart. And I just pray that we would just strengthen the remnant that are in the cities that are holding the ground for the purity of the gospel, that we would continue to go out of our buildings and preach the gospel in power, that we would lay hands on the sick, and we would just say, like, this is not going to happen while I'm alive. You will not take our cities, and that we would rebuild the desolate cities. So just thank you for praying. Bye, everyone.